Welcome to the Darkstream, Vox Day, voxday.net, and unauthorized.tv. Just firing up the chat here, and we are rolling. We've already got 15 on board. So, what I'm going to show you here in a few minutes is going to be disturbing. It's going to be upsetting. It probably should come with a parental advisory, and it's just brutal. Hopefully future generations will be spared this kind of sight, but this is something that we have to get through. We have to be strong. We have to get through this together as a community. As you can see, I am wearing the Dorking Wanderers Football Club home jersey. There's a reason for that. Tonight, we might as well call it the soccer stream. And it's going to be a tough ride. There's going to be ups. There's going to be downs. There's going to be, frankly, what can only be described as moments of true horror. But, it's what it is. So anyhow, and I do have two announcements to make towards the end of the stream. But stick with us. Even if you're not interested in soccer or what the Europeans call football, I should say the English call football. The Italians call it calcio. Germans call it Fußball, and the French, what always amuses me is the French call it foot. The captain of, the old captain of my current team, when things would go poorly, he would kind of look up into the heavens and say, "C'est foot." He looked like he should be sitting on the left bank of the Seine, wearing a beret and smoking a cigarette while doing that. But anyhow, it's the French definitely have a more philosophical approach to it than I've seen before. Anyhow, so this is what happened last weekend, and don't say I didn't warn you. It's pretty ugly, but we'll talk about this. We'll talk about this. Okay, so first we'll just run through it. All right, so buckle your seatbelts on. Make sure the children cannot see the screen. Turn the volume down. And good luck to you all. Okay, now this is, unbelievably bad. It's the second top team versus the second worst, and we'll get into it after, but we'll just play through this first. We'll just experience it new and fresh. So, as you saw, that was possibly one of the most pathetic defensive performances I've ever seen in soccer at any level. I meant to show tonight, for some reason the video didn't work. It actually crashed the streaming software. That's how furious the manager was. He literally came out and said that there were several players who would never play for the club again. And it's just unbelievably bad. Yeah, I mean, the amazing thing is, of those 6 goals, only one of them was even halfway reasonable, and that was the last one. The funny thing is, they probably should have scored 2 goals that were legitimate good opportunities, but the goalkeeper, Harrison Mayle, did a great job of stopping them. And, I think that the game was a very useful illustration of the concept of a failure cascade. I mean, what on earth was the midfielder doing heading the ball back into the penalty box? Why was the defender who it was headed towards, granted he was probably a little surprised that the ball was coming back to him, but he had a clear position. So why did he just lollygag over and then kick the guy in the head? It was, it was embarrassing. It was just an incredible demonstration of futility. But the good thing is that it's now clear to the management team that the players they've got, many of whom came up with the team, just don't have the capability, either physically or in some cases mentally, or in some cases a combination of the two. They don't have the ability to play at that level. And for me, the worst one was actually the second goal, when the ball goes right through the 2 defenders and they just look at each other. The goalie comes out, makes a fantastic save, and then one guy beats the 2 defenders and goes past works his way past the 2 defenders. It's really frustrating if you do know anything about football. It's really frustrating to see how on the offense you've got players who are afraid to take on a defender one-on-one, and meanwhile the other team has attackers just blithely attacking 1-on-2 and winning and beating them. And so, but I think that this is in some ways a nice thing for, these are our partners for at least the next 7 years. And the nice thing about it is that in the event that Dorking gets relegated, which it looks like, at the moment, there's only, 6 games left. Now, they could pull themselves out of it. They could very easily win 3 games and then they'll be fine. But not playing like that. And I don't know. I just don't know if they have the players, especially up front. Obviously, the attackers are not the problem if you're losing 6-0. That's a problem with the defense. But they've stabilized the defense before. They had they usually have different players starting in defense, and maybe that will help. But they still need to score goals, and there's really no one to score goals. The guy who scored but was offsides and had the goal disallowed, he used to be really good at the lower level. He averaged 0.6 goals every game. 0.6 goals every game. That's very good. It's not top tier, but it's probably, if you're doing that, you're a second tier player at your level. That's a very solid player. But his scoring rate now is about 0.2. and there's really nobody else because the best striker is injured. So, so if they do get relegated, the nice thing for us is that we get to be part of the story. We get to become part of the success story, the future success story, instead of just being bandwagon jumpers who jumped on while everything was going smoothly and great and easy. So I think that's, obviously I'd prefer to see the team stay up in the National League. I'd prefer to see them, stay where they are and move up from there. But it's really not the worst thing in the world when you're involved in a strategic plan to have to take a step back. If you compare it to Castalia Library, think about how you felt, those of you who were subscribers. How did those of you who were subscribers feel during that 6-month or 8-month period where we didn't ship a single book to you, and where everyone's going, where are my books? And the critics are screaming, oh, it's all a scam, and everything seemed to be falling apart. How did you feel about that? Did you feel positive about Castalia Library? Did you think, hey, things are going great? And some people, understandably, lost faith. 20% of our subscribers stopped subscribing during that time. We were doing, we were doing well. Cactus Eater Bear she's a shameless bandwagoner and would rather them stay up. No, it's not about that. I would rather they stayed up too. But the point is, Libertas says, wasn't thrilled, but I know it takes time and was okay with waiting. Yeah. But here's the thing. That problem that we had, that issue that we had that cost us 20% of our business, actually turned out to be a very good thing. And the reason it was a very good thing is it forced us to realize that we were 100% dependent upon another company, another group of people over whom we had no control. Now, as you know, it turned out, I was the one who figured out what the problem was. I was pretty sure there was something fundamentally wrong with the person who was responsible for shipping the books out of there. And when I managed to finally convince an employee there to secretly go and check up on things, we were able to figure out that there was an actual problem. And it was actually, I was super relieved when I found out that they hadn't shipped a single book for 6 months, and that all the books that we had produced were there. I was afraid that they'd somehow been shipped out to somewhere where they hadn't gotten to anyone. And so, as a result, we stepped back, we set the bindery up, and now we're, obviously we've had some problems there as well, which is a whole nother stream in and of itself. And it's one that has cost us, in terms of opportunity cost, a lot. But the good news is, now we know what the problems were. We had the wrong machines. Now we're getting the right machines. And now we're, we've twice now, we've had to sort of step back, reassess, and then move forward. And it's working really, really well. Sleep Deprived Bear says, thank you for sticking with Lacey too. Yeah, that was a little bit different in that it was a decision on our part. But it was the right decision, and I don't regret it at all. I tried to warn everyone that, don't get upset over this one. And most of you were great about that. Almost all of you were great about that. And so, We don't need to get into the details of that, but if you ride these things out, and if you actually take a good hard look at what's wrong, at why you're failing, you can come back much, much stronger than before. One thing that's come out of us getting the wrong machines is that we're now working with the people that originally did the leathers for Franklin Library. We're actually looking at the possibility of having custom leathers developed for what we want to do. And this would be, people are saying that the Thucydides and stuff is some of the best they've seen. They're saying that the Cambridge medievals are some of the best they've seen. People love the Pride and Prejudice thing. I mean, if the enthusiasm for the Pride and Prejudice edition continues, we might be sold out of that one before it ships next month. And we did 250 extra books. Any update on the Hypergamos hardcover? We're going to do a crowdfund once we ship Alt Hero Q and Midnight's War, both of which are done, and I'm waiting to get the proofs to approve them so that we can get them sent out to the backers. I don't want to do another crowdfund until we've fulfilled the first part of Midnight's War and we've fulfilled Alt Hero Q. So, but we're getting there. And so you have to stop and sharpen the saw now and then when it's not working. Exactly. And, I'm really, I can honestly say that other than when we first discovered from you guys that there was a lot more interest in the leather books than we ever imagined, I've never been more excited or optimistic about where Castalia Library is. And that's after getting 80% demonetized last month. I mean, talk about coming back strong from things. It's been unbelievable. And so I'm hoping in like manner that that Dorking is going to do the same thing. I think that there's every chance that they will. They've actually just brought on a new CEO. So for the first time, they've got somebody to run the business side of it, as opposed to Mark trying to do everything himself. So that's, I think, potentially positive too. And they've got us behind them. Now that may not seem like a big deal, and you might say, well, what does that have to do with anything? But the reality is that the amount of merchandise and stuff that they sell is just, by our standards, tiny. There's a decent chance that next year our community and just the US market in general might actually do more Dorking business than they do in England. I think that'd be phenomenal, and I've got an announcement on that front in a bit. But Stark says, got Thucydides today. It's as good as medieval history, maybe better. Yeah, the paper is the paper that we used in that is the new paper that we've been using, and also the new, is it the new gilding? No, it's not the new gilding yet, but it's definitely a game changer for us, and so we've stepped back and we looked at every step of the process, and we've changed a number of things. There's other things that I'll be telling you about and showing you soon, but not quite yet. Anyhow, so what I'm leading up to is first, we have a little song to play you. The Booster Patrol guys and girls got together, and we thought that what the team needed was a theme song. Because there's an English band called Status Quo that did a remake of The Wanderer by, I think, Dion, and it's just a bit unimaginative, you know what I mean? So anyhow, without further ado, this one you can turn up the volume for if you like. So this is the new Booster Patrol theme song for Dorking Wanderers, and it's called, of all things, Rock the Cock. Why is this not? Oh. Oops. Hang on. Okay, forgot to turn these default speakers on. There we go. Sorry about that. For some reason the video worked, but not that. So we'll try this one again. There we go.
We got the D. We got a team that goes the full 90. Marched out the boys to make the noise. 12 promotions, hope it annoys you. He's back in black, 3 at the back. Red, white, and blue, all round the attack. Rock the cock.
It's a celebration.
The wrist is flying high in the sky. Rock the cock. It's a celebration. Dorking till the day we die. Wanderers will drive you crazy.
Come on now.
Wanderers lay down the line. Wanderers will go for all 3. The gaffer never plays for a draw.
It's time to come together. It's up to you. Now or never. Everyone at Meadow Bank. Come on.
So that was the rather epic Rock the Cock by Booster Patrol. And it's a cover of a mashup of two songs. One, of course, is Celebration by Kool and the Gang, and the other is Bang Your Head by Quiet Riot. I don't think they're going to introduce it to the team and the fans anytime soon. Probably not this season, but it'll probably be maybe end of the season or at the anniversary gala. It kind of came off as a more appropriate vibe 2 weeks ago when Dorking beat the league winners, champions, and potential all-time record setters, Chesterfield. Hence the deflated, outdated Chesterfield is overrated. Crushing what may be the best team in the history of the National League 4-1 was, very impressive. Following it up by losing 6-0 to the number 2 team, not so great. So you can kind of see why they're not like leaping to put it out there, but they do love it. One of the execs said that he was playing it, and his wife came in and just started laughing. She's like, "What on earth? What's going on? I don't know what's happening here." And so anyhow, they do very much appreciate their American partners. They did mention that they were surprised at the range of our skill set, and they were also amused by the fact that we used the proper English lyrics. I don't know if it's actually true or not, but I heard a rumor that Rachel thought a gaffer had something to do with fishing. But anyhow, not to throw you under the bus, Rachel, but it made a funny story. Anyhow, and also a lot of the lyrics are sort of, some minor inside jokes that the team and the club execs all understand. So it was a lot of fun. John put a lot of work into that one, but it's one of those things where you never know if they're going to embrace it and use it, and if they do, and it doesn't matter if they do or not, it's up to them. But you need to make sure that it's going to hold up if it's played in front of 3,000 people in public. So anyhow, I hope you enjoyed that. We'll look into the possibility of releasing it and that sort of thing soon. But here's why I'm wearing the shirt. And John wants to point out, that's the first time we've actually gotten all 4 of the various singers involved. You could probably hear John's was the big. It was definitely John doing the big yeah thing. And most of the backing vocals, I just did the one part. Rachel did lead, and Elizabeth dropped in a few sultry celebrations there. So it was good. And it was fun, which is the main thing. Anyhow, here's the thing. They're about to order the 3 jerseys, the new jerseys for next season. And what I wanted to make sure is that, because it's going to have Castalia Library on the back, I thought there was a good chance that a number of our folks might want to see about getting a jersey themselves. It doesn't make any sense to have people like order them from England and all that sort of thing. So what we've done is we actually came to an agreement, and they're going to allow our community, I guess is the best way to put it, to sell team merchandise and jerseys and all that sort of thing. The whole idea is to help the club. It's not really about helping us, but they're going to let us do t-shirts, sweatshirts, caps, whatever we want. But most importantly, they're going to let us order jerseys. So if you're interested in a jersey, you don't need to commit, you don't need to buy it yet or anything like that. That is the email address. And what you should do is email and tell which of the 3 jerseys. There's let's see if I can find this here. Let's try adding a source, a web page. What is that web page? I need to figure out what it is. Just a second. Okay, here we go. Okay, so why is it always like difficult whenever you're doing something live? Okay, there we go. Okay, so those are the 3 kits as they were. The Castalia library will be on the back. And so basically, if you're going to want to get a jersey, just specify which jersey, how many, and what sizes. So the red jersey is the home jersey. The blue and black striped jersey is the away jersey, and the orange one is what they call the third jersey that they have to have in case in case the jerseys match or something. So if you have any interest, please just send a message to that email. You're not buying the jerseys yet. It just gives us an idea of how many to have them make and send over to the States. So anyhow, it's a fun project. It's fun to support. It's going to be a lot of fun over the next couple of years as they hopefully succeed and as Castalia Library builds up through in the English market as well as in the States. And so it's actually a pretty significant marketing tool for us. We've already seen the benefits from it. Q1882 said Archaven logo would look really nice on one as we grow. Well, that's the nice thing, is that we can choose to put whatever we want on it. We're going to put the Castalia Library logo on it this time, but we have the option to do whatever we want as long as it meets with their approval. We did experiment with seeing how the history one looked, but it was too complicated. It looked too much like a badge. The badge that they have is pretty simple, but a lot of the English football teams have sort of a shield, and so having something that looks like a shield on the back just looked a little bit weird. So anyhow, we went with the nice simple Castalia Library, and that's going to be tied to some other promotions, which I can guarantee you that subscribers, and especially annual subscribers, are really going to like. So we're working on a lot of these ancillary projects that build up the core projects, but in a sustainable way, in a way that makes everything stronger, rather than doing what the Converge companies do and pulling resources and attention and quality away from the core market. What we want to do is improve it. We want to bring more to you. We want to make the experience better and more worthwhile for everyone, so that the kind of enthusiasm that people have for the library stuff that's coming out now, the history stuff that's coming out Now we want to have that for unauthorized. We want to have it for Archaven as well. And so, but one step at a time. It's always one step backward and two forward. It's fine. We're well accustomed to that. The devs are still hard at work on getting the subscription stuff restored. In the meantime, we're running fine. This doesn't really have much impact on the subscribers. Obviously, it does on the creators. So we need to get it addressed, and we are actively working on that. Anyhow, that's all I've got for tonight. So again, this is the email address. If you, I should probably say it out loud since it's not going to show up on. Actually, I guess I can put it on the screen underneath, but it's dwfcshipping@gmail.com. That is dwfcshipping@gmail.com. And if you happen to want to support the team, get a jersey, whatever, I can pretty much guarantee it's going to be a bit of a talking point. if my experience wearing the jacket in Switzerland is any indication. It's kind of funny because people wear a lot of football gear when you belong to a football club. But the thing is, everybody knows the big teams. So if you're wearing a Liverpool jacket, or if you're wearing an Arsenal sweatshirt, everybody knows what it is. Do you support them? No, my brother gave me this, that kind of thing. Or yeah, I'm a big Man City fan, whatever. So it's kind of funny when you're wearing a Dorking thing that has Castalia Library on the back. Everybody's curious because they haven't seen it before. So it's pretty cool. Anyhow, that's all I've got for tonight. So would you like to listen to Rock the Cock one more time before we go? It hasn't been too long. So John, you don't get to vote. John always goes, yeah, play it again. But we got a few more minutes here if anybody would like to hear that one more time. Which one is most likely to be a talking point in terms of a jersey? I think probably the away, because the away jersey looks like Inter Milan. So if you've got somebody who knows football, they're going to assume it's an Inter Milan jersey, and then they're going to see that the Dorking shield, and they will almost certainly ask a question about that. So, all right. Well, it's unanimous, so we're gonna fire it up one more time. Anyhow, by the way, and in case it's not clear, the whole Rock the Cock thing, Dorking, one of the things that it's well known for, in fact, ironically, a family member of mine knew about Dorking because when I mentioned it, they said, "Oh, is that where the chickens come from?" I was like, "What?" And then I thought, wait, there's a chicken on the jersey, and it turns out that there is a special brand of chicken called the Dorking chicken, and what's unusual about it is it has 5 toes. Apparently, most chickens only have like 3 or 4 or something. So hence the line about 5-toed reaper. And so the town actually has a giant cockerel in the middle of the roundabout at the entrance to town. And so, and then when there's a big game and stuff, they'll like put a big red scarf around it and dress it up and all that sort of thing. So there's a hence the whole bits about the rooster flying high in the sky and so forth. Anyhow, without further ado, let's go ahead and fire it up again. Oh, shit. What the heck? Shut off on me. Try it again.
His jeans off your poor old lady. Yeah, no- We have a top keeper, big sweeper. We're coming on like a five-toed reaper. Yeah, no losses. We hit our crosses. You're gonna learn who the final boss is. We're not crazy, never lazy. My God, his jeans off your poor old lady. Yeah, no fear. We're all here. We're going up to the league next year. Replica.
It's a celebration.
The Cockerel is flying high. Replica. It's a celebration. Dorking till the day we die.
Celebrate Dorking, come on!
Replica.
Celebrate Dorking, come on!
Ooh, yeah. Deflated, outdated. Chesterfield is overrated. We got the mid, we got the D. We got a team that goes the full 90. Marched out the boys to make the noise. 12 promotions, hope it annoys you. He's back in black, 3 at the back. Red, white, and blue, all round the attack. Replica.
It's a celebration.
The rooster's flying high in the sky. Replica. It's a celebration. Dorking till the day we die. Wanderers will drive you crazy.
Come on now.
Wanderers lay down the line. Wanderers will go for all three. The gopher never plays for a draw.
It's time to come together. It's up to you.